What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Learning 101. Today I want to do technical analysis and tell you guys a story of ticker symbol SPWR. It's a very interesting story on how the chart played out. I want to break it all down for you guys and so you guys can see my thinking process when breaking down charts. Remember when I always say in my videos, as a trader, or as an investor, you always want to look at yourself as if you're a detective. Put all the pieces together so the story makes sense. So I'm going to walk you guys through this step by step. As I said, I already took multiple pictures. I plotted out all my technical analysis and what I think happened. So let's jump into it. So on July 31st, SunPower SPWR reported Q2 loss, but they topped their revenue estimates. They came out with a quarterly loss of 22 cents per share, but SPWR posted revenues of 481.8 million for the quarter ending June of 2019, surpassing the Zacks consensus estimate by 8%. Compared to a year ago, their revenue was 447.1 million. So you could see right here that their revenue grew. It is an earnings loser, but their revenue surpassed. That means they grew more as a company compared to a year ago. And if I jump over to Finviz real quick, I gotta go over the fundamentals for you guys real quick. The shares outstanding for this company is 141 million. The float is 62.4 million. A bit of a higher float than what I normally would like to play. I like to normally play lower float stocks, but I'm starting to branch out more and learn more about bigger float stocks. Remember, the more you know, the more advantage you have as a trader. The more knowledge, the better. And then the short the float is 27.8%. So that means just over a quarter of this float right here, 62.43 million. There are shorts short over a quarter of the float. So around 15 million shares of the float is short, bringing it down to around 47 million for the float. We got institutional ownership is at 32.6%. Now keep all of this in mind when I start bringing up these charts and talking about it. When you have a lot of shorts in on a stock, you got to remember, shorts make money as the stock goes down. So if the stock starts moving up, what are the shorts doing? They're losing money. So how do they have to cover their position? They have to buy to get out of their position. If a stock is gapping up and they're short, they have to buy. If you have buyers coming in too, it's kind of like you get a double whammy. You get shorts have to buy to cover, and you have long investors, bulls, also coming in buying the stock as well. I really hope I broke that down for you guys well enough for you to understand. So we'll start with this picture right here. This is a 1 minute time frame, but this is 6 days of trading action. You have the company put out earnings pre-market right here with this E. And I even put a line right here, earnings released. And if we go before where they put out earnings, you could see the stock started to grind up and move its way on up, and volume just started to come into it. And what this is, are traders and investors getting in, anticipating the earnings, kind of like buy the rumor, sell the news type of deal. Or people just like to gamble. They like to get in, hope that the company puts out good earnings, and possibly sell into a big gap up. So the company puts out earnings right here. And then you can't really see it. I have multiple charts we'll go over. If you look closely, what this is a wedge pattern. And it's a fight between the bulls and the bears for direction. And then right here, the bulls win. And then after hours, this huge explosion here from 11.50 all the way up to almost $15. That's a short squeeze. That 23 point whatever percent it was of shorts that were short the float, the stock's grinding up and moving higher. They have to cover their position because they're losing. And then you got buyers coming in on the stock on top of it. And keep in mind, this is a bigger float stock at 60 million shares. I'm still not used to bigger float stocks, and I'm still learning about it. And this is why I'm breaking down these charts, sharing with you guys my take on what happened. The next image I want to take a look at with you guys is the daily chart. Now I want to point out a pattern on this daily chart. Every time the company releases earnings, volume attacks the day of or the day after. Remember, consider yourself like a detective. You want to put the story together right here with all these little E's, and I have them circled. This is when the company released earnings. Like right here, the day after the company released earnings, you have this big green candle right here, and you got this little volume right there. Same thing right here, and then most recently right here. And also, remember all those shorts that were short the float? Look at this trend all the way down from 12.50 all the way down to a mental level $10. And what a lot of experienced traders will do, they'll use history to help them guide the future. There are just multiple things going on multiple time frames with SPWR. The last time this stock ran up right here, topping out at 11.50, and it trended down right here, it bounced right at that mental $10 level and then grinded its way all the way up to $13. Tops out, starts trending its way down, shorts pile in, pile in, pile in, comes all the way back down. They're looking right here at this $10 level where the stock bottomed out last time. Shorts start covering their positions. They start going long. And look what happened. It bounced right off that $10. And a couple days before the company released earnings, right here, we started seeing the stock move its way on up. Here's another chart I want to point out. This is looking at SPWR on the weekly time frame. The last time this stock has been around at this price area of $14, $15 was 3 years ago, way over here. So what does that mean? We have a multi-year breakout. You always want to try to put more things into perspective to make sense for you. Have the trade make sense for you. Alright, so here is day one of SPWR on the 1 minute chart. Right here, pre-market, the company put out earnings. Stock opened up at this 1125 area, running up to 1175, forming a nice wedge pattern right here, just getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. Finally breaks to the upside. Bulls win, runs up to 1180, and then pulls back, right back to the area it broke out from, showing strength. And from that area, 1150, this grinded all the way up to 1225. And remember, this is a bigger float stock at around 62 million float. We get this long consolidation right here just below 1225 and $12. And then right when the market closes, the stock explodes from 12 all the way up to almost $15. And also, the total volume on the day, the first day SPWR released earnings, was 8.1 million. Now we move to day 2 of SPWR. The total volume at the end of the day was 23.6 million in volume. Stock opened up at $14 and rips all the way up to $15 and topping out at $16 up here. And then for most of the day, this was just really in a choppy range from $15.50 to $16, bouncing off the VWAP a few times for nice scalping opportunities. And then towards the end of the day, the stock fell below VWAP and then crumbled going into the close. But as it entered into the close, it formed another pattern, a descending wedge. And the stock closed day 2 at $14.50. What I want to point out on this day 2 move right here, how much volume is in on this stock. There are points where you got to ask yourself, is this stock overcrowded? I never really want to try to play stocks that are overcrowded because you have so many people, groups of people, so many trading strategies that are attacking this stock with massive, massive volume, and that's what leads to a choppy stock, like all right here. This is very, very sloppy and choppy and very risky. Now let's fast forward to day 3, and remember, at the end of the day here at day 2, it formed this descending wedge and closed at $14.50. And the total volume on the day was 23.6 million. Volume on day 2 pretty much tripled compared to day 1. Now we're at day 3 here. The total volume on this day was 7 million. And this day was also on a Friday. So the volume was less than what it was on day 1 and significantly less than day 2. Stock opens up right at that $14.50 level, right at the end of the wedge, and rips all the way up to $15. Right here, acted as resistance with this little wick, pulled back, bounced off the VWAP, rips up, breaks up through 15, and tops out at $15.30. Then it pulls back and it bounces right here perfectly off this $15 level. Old resistance, now holding as support. $15 gets a nice grind all the way up to $15.40. Stock grinds and comes all the way back down. What do you know? Hangs around this $15 level and then falls below 15, and 15 becomes resistance. Comes back down, comes up, breaks through 15, tops out at 15.10, pulls back, and right here, now it's holding 15 again as support, showing strength. And this gets just a nice run all the way up to $15.50, consolidates, and then tops out right at $15.70 at around 1 p.m. on a Friday. And then the rest of the day, remember, it's a Friday. Traders most of the time make their money on a Friday and call it a day and call it a week. And then the rest of the day, the stock just slowly but surely faded off. But what I want to point out is with how much volume this stock had, 7 million, compared to yesterday, 23.6 million. You see how choppy it is back and forth right here? Like it finds its top, most definitely, at $15.90 and $16 all up here. But when this stock tried coming down and finding a bottom, it was just very, very choppy and miss. Right here, bouncing off $15.40, bouncing off $15.60, $15.30, $15.50, $15.40, and then cracking right here. Just very, very choppy and very dragged out. And then on the Friday, to me, it just looks like it moves a lot more fluently because it's not overcrowded with volume, which means you don't have that many trading strategies and groups of people and the different types of ways people like to trade on this day compared to the previous day, the stock's just going to move more fluently. And that's what happened all right here the first half of the day on a Friday. But I just wanted to give you guys my take on SPWR, break it down, and show you guys so you guys can possibly learn and see how I view charts. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. If you're new to the Trading Learning 101 channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button where we all grow as traders. That's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. Till next time, have that patience, have that discipline, and study, study, study. Later, everybody.
The most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?